Now to other stories we're following tonight. Let's get you up to speed. Abuse apology. The ministry of the late Christian evangelist Ravi Zacharias apologizing after details of his sexual misconduct are revealed. Zacharias, followed by millions around the world, died at his Atlanta home in May 2020. Vice President Mike Pence even attended his funeral. But it's now come to light that the faith leader sexually harassed or abused a number of women over the years and had several extramarital affairs. Atlanta law firm Martin & Miller, hired by Zacharias' ministry, conducted the investigation. Mom targeted. That's what Atlanta police believe happened Wednesday night when people in two different vehicles shot at a woman and her 6-year-old son. It happened at an apartment complex on Harwell Road near the West Haven neighborhood. A witness rushed them to the hospital. A 15-year-old bystander was also wounded. APD thinks the gunfire may have been in retaliation for another shooting nearby. Homegoing help. For the family of 12-year-old David Mack. He was found Wednesday shot to death in the woods near his home in southwest Atlanta. His grandmother, who raised him, says the last thing she heard him say was, "I love you." A GoFundMe page for his final expenses has raised more than $11,000 in one day.